All right. Are we live? We didn't pop up yet.
Mom's live.
Right. She's always streaming.
Oh,
Just
nothing,
don't know when to
nothing.
pause.
Oh, nothing. All right. On this episode of the RER Report, we talk about the science of detecting lies. We listen to some weird story from Ashtray, and I make fun of kids later. With us this week is Oracle. Oracle recently made his wife take a polygraph to make sure the kid was his. Imagine his disappointment when he found out that it was Ashtray's.
Well, that's a lie. We know that isn't possible.
Speaking of Ashtray, he's on
I
the
mail
run
my
from
sperm
Oracle.
through the mail. Never
Speaking of Jesus Christ. Speaking of Ashtray, he's on the run from Oracle, but it looks like he took his whole room with him.
Yep, beyond the fucking woods.
Yeah. Then there's Mystic. Mystic once made all his kids take a polygraph to find out who ate the last of the Apple Jacks. When they all failed, he put them up for adoption. Now he has 2 Chinese kids and 1 African.
Yep.
Why'd you get
They
more?
don't even know what they don't even know what Apple Jacks is. All right.
Goddamn right. And I'm Teddy. I've passed every polygraph I've taken, and it's only easy because I'm a psychopath.
Boom.
That's why we love you.
Boom. All right. We're going to start off our show with our weekly benefit for the day. Was it
Dane County Humane
Dane
Society.
County Humane Society. This week we have
the Dane
Waddles.
Cook Humane Society.
Yeah, Dane Cook, my bad. Yeah. This week is Waddles the penguin.
Yep, Waddles the penguin. He doesn't have a penis. He only has a cloaca.
Yeah.
And he's got
But
to
it's
balance
big.
a fucking egg on his feet for months on end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Sure.
that's why penguins don't have penises, because they would be fucking dropping their dong on their kid's head all day.
Right. That's a cruel existence. Here's to you, Waddles.
You know what? Maybe those penguins in the zoo don't have it so bad.
Yeah, it's probably pretty fucking dope there compared
Right?
to
They get fed
being out in the
fucking
wild.
sardines.
Yeah, they don't have to walk for months to get food.
Right.
No, they don't have to worry about polar bears, because the polar bears are in another cage over there.
Yeah,
They
right.
just fucking laugh at them.
Just staring at the penguins.
Just putting them on the glass,
Yeah.
like, what's up?
Oh, what you
Yeah,
come over
put 'em
on the
here
glass.
and eat us,
Look.
huh?
Look at this cloaca.
All right. So I decided to talk this week about lie detectors and things like that. I didn't really know much about them. So we'll start off with a brief little history of them.
Anyone here ever taken one?
Nope.
I've never taken one.
Negative.
Me neither.
No. Yeah. So the first
I thought
rule.
the FBI would have fucking given you one instantly.
Right? No, my white boy charm got me out of that.
I'm sure it did. So it starts off with John A. Larson, 1921. He made a machine. He called it the cardio pneumo psychograph.
Psychograph.
So Larson was a police officer. He also had a degree in physiology, and he noticed when interrogating people that they had different reactions, shifty eyes, shifting their body weight and things like that. And he thought these were triggers for lying, or things that tell that they were lying. So he thought that it might be something more internal in the body, because he believed that when you lie, it puts stress on the body, and it has a reaction. So he invented a machine that takes blood pressure and breathing, and if those spiked, then you were lying. A few years later, his protege, Leonard Keener, he added the little sweat detector to the end of it, and he actually patented it as a polygraph.
There's a sweat detector?
Sweat detector, yeah. Sees how wet your cloaca is. Oh, boy. He's fucking lying. This penguin is full of shit.
So this is in the 20s. They are to these cops. The cops think this is the end all be all for machines. It's a lie detector. It can tell when you're lying. So like later in August of 21, they got to kind of use it. A guy named William Hightower was suspected of killing a priest in San Francisco. So they bring the machine up there, and they test him with it, and he fails. They say he's fucking lying. The newspaper the next day reads that he's convicted, that Science's little lying machine convicted him. But that's not what convicted him.
And what year was this? I'm sorry.
This is in 21.
71.
2021.
1921.
1921.
Oh,
Yeah.
1971.
No, 1921. No.
21. Okay, that's how old the lie detector is, huh? Wow.
And so they thought that
They still had snake oil back then. You know?
exactly that's what this machine kind of was. They thought that because of what the newspapers said, a lot of people thought that it was just like this magical machine.
Yeah.
But that's not what convicted him. They found the typewriter the guy used to write the fucking ransom note. They found dirt from the burial scene, and they found blood from the sack they used to carry the guy.
Real police work.
Police work.
They found real evidence.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't stop Keener from going around the country and fucking and using. There was a case in Portage. Is it called Portage, Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were two guys that were convicted of killing when he tested them on the polygraph. They failed, and the polygraph evidence was put forward in court. I mean, this happened a bunch of times because these people thought it was, like I said, an end-all be-all machine. Keener went on in 1938 to be the first full-time private polygraph specialist. Let's see here. He started his own school, actually. Wow, Keener Institute.
1938.
38, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But there's no real science to back this up, to back up how good this machine was.
Yeah, they're just it works.
American Polygraph Association.
1921, believe us.
They say they're first off, their motto is dedicated to evidence-based science and practices. But they conduct their own tests for accuracy and everything else, and they claim their accuracy is about 90%.
Yeah, when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah,
I like to fudge my accuracy too.
Yeah. Okay, what's crazy is how the ways they tested for the accuracy. So, but one of the ways they would test is they would have a guy pull a card out of a deck, look at the card, and not tell the guy what it is, and then have them lie about it. They go through and ask them all 52 cards in the deck, and they wanted them to lie and say, no, I didn't get that card, and that's how they would tell. That's how they would test for accuracy. And they say a lot of these times these tests were loaded. It would be like just one like a full suit of like eights or whatever, like one deck full of eights, like eight of spades and shit.
What?
just to the test so they couldn't fail.
What the fuck?
Right, but they're just doing it to sell. Like, man, they should have slept with each other's wives, and really grill each other for some fucking.
Yeah, right.
No, never touched her, Bill.
The National Academy of Sciences says this is kind of bullshit. There's no real way to tell if somebody's lying, and that the
that's the beauty.
Polygraph Association does not do what it's claiming to do. So those who don't know what a polygraph does, it measures your blood pressure, your sweat, and your breathing. It also measures your body movement. It has some with these little pads on the arm pads and a foot pad that you have that measure any kind of micro movements you have there. And there are also now ones with cameras that will do your facial expressions.
Right.
But that's
so.
But
is it like?
all,
how do you? Yeah. Basically, you just gotta try to remain calm.
Here's
remain calm.
You said move. You're on these fucking hooked to machines.
What's
that machine in Blade Runner called?
And they said if your foot moves, like what the fuck is that?
Okay, well,
people are fidgety
because
these days.
I have fucking neuropathy and my foot twitches fucking constantly.
Oh yeah, you'd be in.
So like, what the fuck, man?
Right. So, and then the test. Then you give a test, and the test is it has three types of questions: irrelevant questions, control questions, and relevant questions. Irrelevant questions are just questions that are saying like is the door closed? Are you sitting? Is your name John or whatever? And you're supposed to have no reaction to those whatsoever. The control questions, those are the questions that are like, it's like, have you ever stolen something from somebody? Have you ever harmed anybody? Or have you, something that's more broader to get kind of read from you? And the relevant questions have to do with what you're being questioned for. And the thing is, if your reaction to the relevant questions is higher than what your baseline is on the control questions, then you're lying. That's what the machine is.
That's why you got to do like that George Costanza method, where it's like it's not a lie if you believe it.
But I can totally see, regardless, if this is because you're taking a lie detector test, presumably for some fucking pretty important reason, like not some like willy-nilly, you might go to fucking prison for the rest
this
of
ain't
your
no carnival
life.
lie
Exactly. That's what they're saying,
So,
because a lot of people.
A little fucking stressful, right? Like, you ask me anything about that, like, oh, well, what'd you eat this morning? You know, peanut butter jelly sandwich? Okay, who gives a fuck? But, okay, if you test positive on this, you're going to go to prison, and they're going to fuck you in your ass and fucking kill you there. It doesn't matter if you're lying or not. You're going to get stressed out.
Worse than a piss test for a new job.
Saying. A lot of people failed because they were just nervous. If you put up a picture of that 1950s machine or 1960s one,
this Windows 95 machine, or
no, no, the one that's in the.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks old timey.
Well, this is from the 50s and 60s. And remember that when the cops bring you in, or whoever brings you in and say this is a lie detector, and they hook you up to this what looks like a futuristic thing, and hooks all the shit to you, you get nervous. Your blood pressure and everything else, your heart rate stuff goes up, your breathing goes up and things. So a lot of people would fail a question because they were so nervous. And did I kill this person? No, I didn't, but I'm nervous because I'm hoping that you believe me.
They should make the investigator, the detective, has to hook up as well, and you get to ask him questions back. Make it feel a little more even. Let's make this a group effort.
What if you purposely try to raise your blood pressure and shit and fuck with the control questions?
Well, that's a way to beat it. We'll get to this. Yeah, we'll get to this. We'll get to that in a little bit. But this shit really didn't work. Okay, so they asked some famous people who got questioned in the past. Gary Ridgway, the Greenway Killer. Anybody ever heard of him?
Oh, when you said famous people, I'm thinking like celebrities.
Oh, no, I mean
famous
like killers and stuff.
He was like a serial killer or something.
He was. He killed 49 women in the San Francisco area. The cops looked at him in 1984, but he passed a polygraph, so they let him go. And he went on to kill.
Yeah, because he's a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Is that's the dude that was profiled in that Manhunter show, right?
I'm not sure.
Might have been.
Green River Killer, you said?
Greenway Killer.
Oh,
Greenway, I never even heard of it.
I've heard of the Green River one.
If anybody's going to be able to beat this, it's going to be a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, sociopath or psychopaths. Yeah.
Well,
they don't have any emotion.
Well, and it's like, man, they can handle intense pressure.
Right.
Like, you kill a motherfucker. That's got to be.
Well, not only that, it's people learn how to lie from an early age. They say you master the white lie at around 6.
Yeah.
And so, and like, if you believe the lie, or can keep your heart rate down and things like that, or just stay calm, then there's no real way to tell. I found this guy's name was Doug Williams. He was a cop. He was actually a polygrapher from 1972 to 1979 for Oklahoma City. And he actually stopped doing it because he didn't.
How's
Doug Williams? Yes.
Look like? See a picture.
This is Doug Williams right here. Up close and personal.
He actually stopped doing it because he didn't like the way these machines were being used. So I didn't know this, but back in the day, any of you, if you wanted to get a job, they could have you take a polygraph test.
For like any old
back in the
job,
day,
for any old
J.C. Penney.
Yeah, any job. Yes. In June 1st, 1988, they passed the Employee Polygraph Protection Act that stopped them from doing this. It has some exceptions, but they still do it for like the CIA and shit, stuff like that. But yeah, so he was a cop and he would moonlight as doing these tests. Because back in the day, you still can make a lot of money. They say these tests today cost they can run up to $700-800 a test, and it's a polygraph. It's a $2 billion a year industry.
Damn. I thought they were pretty fucking rare. Holy shit.
I don't think they used them like that anymore.
Oh, they still do. Especially for court, they surprisingly still use it for court. It's not admissible, whatever. But anyway.
Well, what the hell do they do it for then? If it can't even.
Right? Yeah, if they can't use it.
No, it's admissible in 16 states.
Yeah.
It's admissible in other
It'll
states.
sway public opinion.
I bet Dr. Phil and Maury, they probably are like really big customers, right?
No, Corey's probably like the biggest customer. You think? Like, I mean, and we had a lie detector done.
Sounds like this guy had a fucking hell of a time.
How many of those 16 states, Teddy, are below the Mississippi or the Mason-Dixon line?
A lot of them. You know where the Mason-Dixon line is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I figured most of them would be.
Yeah. So after he got kind of because one of the things he saw was corruption, because like I said, they got paid per test. So if an employer needed to fill 2 or 3 positions, the tester would just fail people over and over and over just to get to run the test and keep getting paid for it until they finally.
God.
Wow, you're condemning some poor bastard.
Yeah, he tells a story about this one guy. It was for an Eckerd drugstore, or whatever. They needed 2 cashiers.
Cashiers?
Just be a cashier.
Holy fuck!
Hey, they're handling upwards of $8.
Yeah.
My God.
Like, holy shit.
Poor fucking women.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Right. Poor single mothers who just need a fucking job.
Yeah. So anyway, he failed a bunch of people. He ran more than 20 tests just to fill those 2 positions, but he got paid per test.
Damn.
and also he cost a lot of people. I mean, I know they made like $350 back then, but he cost with jobs that they
cost some jobs, and maybe that followed him, right? Like fucking Susie, she failed out on fucking 5.
Oh yeah, back in
lie detector tests.
That's detector test, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So he kind of
asked Susie if she was a hoe, and she said no, but we know.
The test says otherwise.
So he kind of got fed up with that. He called it. He said he dubbed the polygraph an insidious Orwellian instrument of torture, ruins careers, tarring honest people as liars. So what he started doing was he started showing people how to beat the test. Well, actually, before he did that,
he became an alcoholic.
No. I skipped a little bit.
He killed himself.
He did a 60-minute interview back in 1986. And to speak out about the the bullshit of polygraphs. So on the 60-minute episode, what they set up a sting. They called 3 different polygraph testers for 3 different companies. And they brought them to an office and said that a camera had been stolen. And so it was a magazine that did it. And so they said that had these 3 suspects. And so for each of the 3 testers, they told them that one of the people they thought that one of the people were the culprit. And in every situation, whoever they got tipped off that they thought might be the culprit, that's who they claimed lied on the polygraph. It's actually funny if you go back and watch it.
It was Chad.
It was Chad. Yeah. So he starts teaching people how to beat a polygraph. And one
after he left the force, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this is way after he left the force. So like you said, Mystic, what if you can do things to change your readings? You actually can. One of the ways that he tells people is a sphincter test.
Just shit your pants.
They put a sensor right on your teeth.
Right. They won't continue the test if you fucking shit your pants.
Inconclusive.
One of the apparently squeezing your sphincter like you're trying to stop a bowel movement gives off a reading of I think it's the fucks your blood pressure. It fucks with one of the readings, so you can actually use that. So like if you on your control question, you clinch up, you get that heavy.
So that's that feeling when I'm on the toilet.
Yeah. And then when you go to a relevant question, you fucking you just relax and you
let it go.
Let it all go.
And then you just let it go. Yeah, right. What when you release, they get to a relevant question, you release, you're like, oh shit. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I wonder what happens to polygraph if you just start bursting out laughing because you just farted really loud during the year.
Okay. There was one more thing. Oh yeah, okay. The Larson guy. Before we move on to the next kind of lie detecting, the Larson guy who started with the first one, the cardio pneumo psychograph, on before he died in 1965, he did come out against the lie detectors, saying that he didn't like what they'd become, and also the fact that he been swept up by law enforcement and done all that kind of shit. So, We're gonna move on next to Paul Ekman. Have you all ever seen the show Lie to Me?
No, I don't think
I saw
so.
one episode, I think.
It's got Tim Roth. The only reason I watched it is Tim Roth was in it.
So it's based on a real guy.
It's actually I didn't know it was based on a real guy. But it's based on a real guy. It's Paul Ekman is a clinical psychologist. He coined the term micro expressions. Micro expressions is expression the face makes anywhere from like a half a second to 4 seconds. He said that everybody in the world that happiness, sadness, anger, disgust, contempt, fear, and surprise are all innate, and everybody shows it. In order to prove this, he went to remote Papua New Guinea to a tribe of people who don't have, I guess I've never seen other people, to see if they had the same facial expressions to all these things. I'm curious to see how he tested like disgust. And
I would say just let some white man come in from out of nowhere. Let me study your faces.
But what he surmises is that you can look at somebody's face and tell, and they like especially with questions and things, so they can't like they're gonna give some kind of reaction. It's a physiological reaction, and it'll be in the face, and you can actually see that. He actually went on to study hand movements also.
So the Italians all liars.
The Italians are liars.
Well, poker players do that shit too. I remember reading Doyle Brunson's fucking book, and he talks about just watching players. Like he's like, I won't even bet for an hour at a table. I just watch everybody. And when it gets to them, like it's innate in us. When you see a good hand, you're gonna fucking show excitement. You have to learn how to hide that shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And fucking people that are attuned to that are gonna make money off of it, or fucking, yeah.
If you never see the show, it's okay. It's Tim Roth's in it.
What's the basis of it? Lie detector guy.
Yeah, he's a guy.
He's like a human lie detector.
He's like a human lie detector. He asks questions, looks at your face and things. You can tell if you're lying or not.
Dilation of pupils, anything like that.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Like I said, Tim Roth.
How does he prove that?
Well, it's a show.
It's a show. It's a fucking. Come on.
I thought it was based on a real person.
It is based on a real person. But
it's still a fucking show based on a real person. It's not like it's fucking.
Okay,
real.
So how did this real person prove? He's like, yep, they're lying.
I don't think he did. I think the show is just.
It's that different than real life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit on me for assuming.
I think this dude was like a clinical. He was just like a psychologist.
Who studied these faces and figured out. Yes, exactly. They did a show on him, and this guy has a business where okay. You got it, Ashtray?
It's a fictionalized show, Ashtray.
All right, so the show is a lot cooler than he is in real life. Real life, he couldn't figure out shit. He just said
he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Real life, that guy needs
fucking loser.
He didn't even have a cock. It's just a cloaca.
Yeah, he had a cloaca.
Poor bastard.
Poor fucking bastard. All right, so the last type of lie detection we're talking about is the fMRI lie detection, functional magnetic resonance imaging, where they actually look at the nervous system to compare time and topography of activity in the brain for lie detection.
Really?
Yeah. So the thing about this is, the guy who came up with it, his name was Daniel Langelman. He surmised that in order for people to lie, the brain has to do more activity because it has to stop the lie, or not stop the lie, but stop the truth and come up with a lie. So his studies show that the inferior and superior prefrontal and anterior, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Parts of the brain.
Parts of the brain fucking lit up and shit when people lied. In 2002, he licensed his methods for lie detection to the No Lie MRI company located in San Diego, California. They can look at the brain and see.
So, now has this been proven, or this is just something they're working on?
Is it more accurate?
They're still working on it.
I was gonna say, because that's one problem with the neurosciences, where it's like, we we can now like look at the fucking MRI pictures of the brain doing shit, but we're still kind of like floundering around of like, being able to be sure.
They don't really know what part of the brain
exactly.
does what. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they have an idea.
Well, and the patterns are still they're always varying.
All this shit's in its infancy with that stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Chat GPT will figure it out.
They do say the way they've done it is that certain parts of the brain have a higher blood oxygen level because they're using more oxygen to come up with the lie and stuff. And they claim that it's achieving up to 90% accuracy on predicting subject responses.
Oh, weird. The other one claimed 90%.
It's 90% also, yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it just happens to be.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Low enough that we're like, all right, that's a fail rate of 10%. I get it. But high enough to be like, wow, that's really good. Fuck you. That shit don't work.
Never did.
So there's a picture.
Never did.
Oh, we never put the picture of the wave thing. But yeah, it's cool. Anyway, but yeah, that's it about.
Put that up there.
That's it about the lie detector.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's just a little graph. But I mean, it's even
respiratory rate, fucking electrodermal.
Even the Williams guy, when he was a cop, he said he knew from day one when he started doing polygraphs that it was bullshit. There was no way they could detect deceitfulness with this device. But he said, but it was a great tool. You come because of the movies and shit. When people see this, they think that they can see into them and stuff.
So it's more of a scare tool.
I tell that to women all the time. They fucking eat it up.
Right. Like a good cop, bad cop type of suit. Yeah. Lie detector says you're lying, but I believe you, bro.
And if even if you're innocent and they tell you to take a lie detector test, and you do, and you're not gonna know what that paper says. They're gonna read it back to you and say, well, this paper says you're fucking lying.
Yeah, right.
And then you're like, oh, so I mean, it's
you're still in the hands of the deciders.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Look at this chart. I'm the expert. Look at these lines.
Expert testimony is like the biggest bullshit in the fucking world. Appeal to professionalism is like the fucking the second fucking fallacy, like a communicative fallacy you could use, basically.
Well, yeah.
But he's a doctor.
It's like any motherfucker. You could take a graph. You show a chart, right? And you put it in front of people. It doesn't mean fucking shit to them. Tell some guy who says he's the expert.
Right.
See this line.
Exactly.
You compare it to this line. This is Chad. And this is your General Craig. Fucking lie.
And it doesn't matter if he's right or wrong. If he says it with enough confidence, as humans, we're like, this dude fucking gets it.
Right.
Yeah, right. This guy knows charts.
He's got 4 PhDs.
Fucking thing didn't mean shit to me.
This guy knows charts.
Those pie charts make me hungry, but I'm sure glad when somebody can explain them. All right. Well, that's it on the old polygraphs there. We're going
right on. Get them all that.
I didn't know they were that old. That's a good
yeah.
I wonder if there's any like cheap amateur like Amazon polygraphs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
There are. They've got one.
Let's pull it up.
You put your hand on and it tells you your line. They got a bunch of them. If you want to buy
you just put your hand on.
Yeah, it's like $15.
It's like a magic 8-ball.
That's what I was just thinking. It was just the same concept as a magic fucking 8-ball. It's probably just a randomized. You're lying.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a
you're so truthful. Yeah.
$1,000.
Right.
Yeah. The real ones are expensive.
Like Napoleon buying a fucking time travel thing.
Ashtray, your dick ain't that big. I swear.
All right. So we're just smoking weed now. We're not moving on.
I thought he was put up a picture.
I'm looking it up. Too. Okay, so
my bad.
A lot of these look like they're just kind of like kids games.
It looks like one of those things where you like if you're the last one to hit the buzzer, you get shot.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
It was actually kind of
USB polygraph. This kind of looks legit. I guess it's $110.
$110.
It only works with the Windows PC.
That looks like looks like a bomb. The fuck? This got like a. Is that just handmade?
Wait a second. What is going on with this image. Hold on.
Oh wow, he's like naked.
Right, there's like a naked dude and a fucking like semi-naked doctor woman.
Yep.
Asking him questions.
They totally stole that from the beginning of a porno.
It's absolutely from a
Where
porno.
It's like, you have to. We need to measure all perspiration, and they probably hook electrodes on his dick, and that's where it goes.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh my God, get the truth like a pro.
Wow. All right, we're gonna move on to what's sexiest part of the show. We're gonna start off with Ashtray post-show glow.
Oh yeah. I had that show I talked about last week, getting to play on the Orpheum stage. And it's really cool to see the whole from the back end perspective of the sound guys, who are really cool and like apologetic, but it's also like, dude, I know, like, I'm a fucking cakewalk to set up. Of course you're gonna get the band all done first.
Of course, dude.
So it's just kind of one of those hurry up and wait.
Yeah, they just plug you in.
Yeah, essentially plug me in, do some sound checks, and then they just had to. They actually, because they had so many mics on the band, they just transitioned one of those mics over to me at the time, because I still had to introduce like the first dance, mother son, father daughter, and then like the band kicked in, so I got to have a little fun for 90 minutes and then go back up there and take over. And man, I tell you, like, being I felt like I cringe, because it was just like, oh my God, the bass is just too much. But I had to keep telling myself, it's because you're on top of the bass, you dumbass. Like, the guys out there in the booth, I'm like, if I sound good to you, like, I'm good with that. I'm in your hands. And everybody else who was out there, my friends, were like, oh yeah, it sounded fucking amazing. But when I was on there and I'm like, some songs with like some real deep bass, I'm dropping it, and like inside I'm just like, oh God, it's like, Jesus Murphy. But yeah, then wrapping up that show without a fucking hitch, and everybody having a grandiose time, and a bunch of old friends who've seen me DJ parties before plenty of times, but it's their first time seeing me do the full professional wedding act, and getting to see me on that big stage gives you that like fucking king of the world feeling afterwards. That's just like, that's what all the anxiety in the beginning of the day like builds up to, where you feel like you're fucking awesome.
Is it that, or did they go by your sheet of time, which should have to go down? Because I know how you don't like it when you change the timing of the shit that needs to go down.
When you're saying, do they go by my time of sheet, or?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the time of sheet is it's always in flux. Basically, I was coordinating with the wedding planner and the venue staff, and that's the thing, is like, you coordinate timelines day of, and then you find out where it's like, oh yeah, yours is different than mine, because these things like are always kind of getting shuffled around by the different powers that be, and then you just make it work. You got to be flexible, but time-wise, yeah, it was pretty on point, this wedding. The only kind of weird thing is I brought my like big meat raffle speaker and put it in the lobby, because they had cocktail hour out in the lobby. And I'm like, well, do you have any music out there? They're like, nah, no music. I'm like, can't have that. It's like, I almost left. I was taking my last load out to my vehicle at the end of the night, and I was like, oh fuck, the meat raffle speaker. I had to do the meat raffle the next day. Almost left it behind. It would have been a pain in the dick to try to get it back, but fucking remember that last minute. Pain in the dick. So good time all around. Of course, it's one of those, like, it's a fleeting glow, but it's it's like, that is also why I do it.
Awesome. All right, moving on.
I just want to say one thing. I always hated that when we sound checked Oracle. I don't know if you remember that. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to trust some asshole running the board who's never heard your band before.
Right.
And they're always like,
way more
oh yeah, it sounds fine. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come out here and listen to it while you guys play.
Right.
And it was always fucked up. I'm like, no, man, you gotta turn this up.
Louder is not always better.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Next up is Mystic with a street race, baby.
Yeah, so NASCAR, which gets a lot of flack for just being, turn left. They are doing in Chicago a street race. So they've closed off a good part of the lakeside area of Chicago. And it's a 12-turn, 2.2-mile street race that they're going to do on Sunday. Well, they're doing Xfinity Saturday and then NASCAR Sunday. But I think it's going to actually show, like, since F1 is getting more popular in this country too, I think a lot of more people are paying attention to racing, and NASCAR in particular, because that's our main American one. And this really helps. This is the first time they've ever done a street course. So, I mean, they do, road tracks here and there, Watkins Glen and stuff like that. But this is the first time that they're going to be doing, and it's going to showcase what those cars can actually, once they're set up to do these things, can actually do,
Do you think this is going to change, like, if this is popular, do you think it'll kind of change what that sport actually is?
So. I think so.
Because Indy and Formula One, well, Formula One doesn't have street races here, but they do in Europe. And Indy has Laguna and Detroit where they do street races.
Yeah.
Or not Laguna, Long Beach and Detroit. So,
but also,
go ahead.
Look at that beautiful CGI footage.
I mean, yeah, the track is awesome. Right. Also, it's if you don't have to go to to see NASCAR, you usually have to go to a stadium to see it. And to be able to have it come, to be able to have it come to a city, especially one closer. I mean, it'd be. I think it would be more popular.
Or you can walk and just fucking sit along the fucking,
Yeah, I think instead of having to go to Talladega just to see a race.
Right.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Word. Yeah. Next up is me with Kamikaze Kids. Me and my son went roller skating today. And he's getting better. He's getting a lot better. But I didn't expect it to be a lot of kids there today. I mean, it was a lot of fucking little kids. I don't know if you've ever been to the skate center. Have y'all been in a while?
I actually was a year or two ago.
Oracle, you're gonna get used to it, buddy. But they so at our skate center, at most of the ones I go to, they have these PVC little like triangle things, with 3 wheels on them. The kids can hold on to and skate around. It helps the kids maintain balance, but it also turns them into flying flesh missiles.
Our rink, our rink was too rinky dink. We didn't have anything like that.
So I mean, these kids get going.
Flying flesh missiles.
These kids get going, and then they won't. They won't fucking. They'll be like, I'm like, slow down, kids, slow down. Use your brakes. And so they'll put this out and be like, this will stop me. And then they'll smack that.
Smack it right into this guy's balls.
Dude, it's crazy. Jesus. I was standing on the side. And this one little black girl comes. The mom is sitting on the edge of the floor, which she should have been doing with her daughter doing something. And this little black girl just comes, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna hit these white folk. And sure enough, she hits the white folk. And the little black girl, she gets up, looks at her hand, and just starts crying at the white chick. And I started laughing my ass off because I've eaten like 60 milligrams for me and my son went. So I'm laughing my ass off. And so the chick looks up at me, and I was like, oh, she's not mine. I don't know who she is. And she's like, "You're not her father?" No, I'm not her father. I don't know that. I'm not gonna go up to a little crying girl.
Yeah,
I'm the only black guy here. But what are you crying for, little girl? I'm not doing that. And I was like, she's like, "Where's your mommy?" I was like, "I don't know. We don't all know each other. We don't know each other."
Yeah.
But I just thought it was so fucking funny. And it just kids like, oh my god. My son's like, "Yeah, I'm tired of dodging kids. Can we go?" I'm like, "I feel you. I feel that. I feel you on that." But yeah, it was just fucking, it was just awesome. These kids are just smacking into walls and shit. I'm like, dude, turn. I'm like, and their parents are just like, and their parents are trying to help them. I'm like, when my son was doing it, I'm out there with him trying to do something. But these parents are just like, yeah, here you go. Just go kill yourself or somebody.
Like, good luck. Well, they have alcohol there?
They do not have. I mean, maybe
They probably
give
would in
out like a
Wisconsin.
White Claw or something. But I don't know.
That's all a suburban mom needs.
Right?
Right?
That and
White Claws.
fentanyl, they're fucking set, man.
Fentanyl
White
is
Claw and
White Claw.
fentanyl. Fucking taking the kids skating.
That's funny.
Oh my god. All right, next up is Oracle F123. Would it be, baby?
F123. Yeah. So last year F1 kind of sucked ass.
Welcome to F120.
Let you down.
Yeah, they introduced like this fucking lame ass, like, oh, customize your pad, man. Nobody plays F1 for that.
Customize your bed.
Your pad, like your
pad,
apartment.
Your house.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was fucking dumb, fucking unbelievably stupid.
Well, it's popular in like
I think that might be a European thing though, man, because
Yeah.
I see a lot of YouTube shit.
Because they don't
Where
have
it's
apartments there?
Lando Norris's new apartment in Monaco. Check it out. I'm like, I don't give a fuck where this
right, who
asshole
fucking
lives. Like, what the fuck
cares?
is? Yeah, like he's
Well,
rich. Of course,
yeah.
he lives in a fucking great.
He
place
paid
in
someone
Monaco.
to make an apartment
Right.
in the digital
Right?
world.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, do it.
F123. So F121 was really well received because it had Breaking Point, which was the story mode. And it was, I don't know, that was probably like 4 hours long or so. 22 didn't have Breaking Point, and 23 has Breaking Point, and it's about a 10-hour campaign. And it goes through multiple characters, definitely a lot more dynamic than what the original Breaking Point was, which the original one was really good, especially for a racing game. The one in 23 just completely smashes it in terms of where it goes.
Fucking slaps.
Yeah, it fucking slaps.
Fucks faces.
Handling's a lot better.
This isn't. Is that? Oh, this isn't you playing, right?
No, this
is
isn't
just
me.
a.
playing.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
trailer.
Handling's a lot better in the game.
He's driving right now.
They've improved the handling. They've also improved the AI. So it's not going to just not give you room or not respect kind of,
Yeah.
there's a little bit more play
They were
to it.
assholes
Yeah, they were pretty
before.
bad assholes before. It's definitely maybe they're a little conservative, but it's much more reasonable and a lot more fun to be racing against the computer. Yeah, it looks great, runs great. They definitely did a great job with like ray tracing, HDR, things like that. It's a good game. Solid, really good F1 game.
Fucking check it out,
You're
man.
gonna love it.
You're gonna like it.
Isn't it? Is it free?
It's not free. It's not for me.
22 is free. I'm
22 is
assuming.
free.
I
Yeah,
think they're on-
23
yeah,
isn't
they're-
free. Yeah.
Word. All right, we're gonna move on to the fuck what you think section of the show, where we go tell you to fuck yourself. First up is Mystic. Your pet is not a human, so fucking knock it off.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting real sick of it.
Why are people putting
Like-
their pet dramas on you?
Like, not even just that. Like, yeah, there's people at work who show you, oh, look at my dog in the sweater I got him. I don't give a fuck. You know, like, and then like
You
this
are like
dog
you're
right
probably-
here.
You're the company grouch.
This fucking
Like,
dog, dude.
Mystic.
It's not
Won't
just
even
me,
pretend
man.
to-
It's not
Is
just
it
me.
Daisy,
We're all-
that
we're all
racist
actually, like,
fuck?
Yeah, we're
You're
all
racist.
like company. We're all like grouped in a corner. To be honest,
Yeah.
with you. All the assholes are in a corner. But this dog too, like it just sits here and stares at you like I'm gonna give you food. Like, is
Wait, there's
that
a
how
dog
they
in the
feed
office?
it? No, at home here. This
Oh.
fucking stupid fucking mutt
Oh, that's
that I
right,
have to
Daisy
watch
the
for
racist.
5
Are
more
you
days.
still watching Daisy?
I didn't think you still had.
Yeah,
Daisy.
till next
God,
Tuesday.
Holy
Yeah.
fucking
man,
shit.
it's hard to live that long with a racist, especially a dog racist.
Did they just abandon their dog and leave it with you?
No,
their
but anyway,
racist
like,
fucking dog.
They obviously just feed the thing from their plates. And she's expecting that here. And I
Oh.
fucking yell at her because I can't take it.
You're
Like,
like,
she'll sit
"Oh,
there
no."
and stare at my daughters. And like my daughters are ignoring them. And I'm just like, my anxiety is tripping. And I'm ready to fucking beat the shit out of
Smash
this
the
dog.
dog.
Like, this fucking. I hate it when people do that shit, dude. Like, if you feed it once in a while, that's fine.
Right.
But you can't, come on, man. Oh, and like, then you got fucking people that like act like they're their kids. and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we get people. The people who don't bring them to the restaurant is what annoys me.
Yeah, no.
And they think because it's a service dog that you're supposed you have to let it. No, we don't allow animals in the restaurant.
That's another thing. The fucking emotional support bullshit.
Yes.
Give me a fucking break, dude.
Yeah.
Preach, my brother.
Come on.
You know what? Yeah. You know, you need emotional support. It's called drugs.
Your emotional support iguana isn't gonna fucking go.
Remember the chick with the peacock?
Right?
Grow up and do
exactly.
some fucking
That's what I'm saying.
cocaine. Ditch
Grow
the
up.
peacock.
Do recreational drugs like the rest of the fucking
leave your
world.
peacock at home.
Deal
Bring
with your
cocaine.
shitty life, all right? That's how the rest of us do it.
I mean,
Yeah.
animals, pets, they emotionally support anybody that's a fucking pet owner. That isn't like a
Exactly.
fucking
Yeah.
psycho.
Yes, you don't have to take it with you.
Right.
Like my daughters have 2 cats that they love, and that's emotional support, but they don't fucking take it to work with them or fucking travel.
Right.
Give me a fucking break, dude. Like the world is just because of like we have to include everyone has to be included now. Okay.
Also, it's just like we have to. It's not include. It's that we actually
Please,
are
my
expected
brother.
to accommodate.
Okay, yeah, you're
Mm.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
That is a better word. Everyone has to be accommodated
Right.
now. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, up to the line where it's just like, okay, get your fucking peacock off the goddamn plane. Like its feathers are all up in my shit.
And I like animals. I'm not I don't hate them. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of people treating them like they're fucking human. Like one thing I remember when I still talk to that fucking twat, he was fucking like, he was like, he literally said that taking care of his dog
I took his job.
was like taking care of a kid.
That kid, yeah.
And I was like,
no,
are you
no, it's not.
fucking retarded?
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Like the dog after 8 weeks can like run around and like
Yeah.
You could
do
you
shit,
could let
like-
you could let it outside
Yeah.
and not tend to
Right.
it for weeks
Yeah.
and it'll be
Yes.
fine.
It can
Dog
mysteriously
is-
disappear and you won't go to jail.
Yeah.
he,
Dog is a cheaper child.
like
a lot
he
easier.
legit thought that his job as a fucking dog owner was as important
Yeah.
or not important but as
Difficult
time
as raising a
consuming
child.
and difficult as raising a fucking human child.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot.
I tell people all the time at the dog park, I'm like, oh, which kid is yours? I'm like, that's my son over there. I can't. I own those dogs. They're not my kids.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Like if one of them dies, I might shed a tear, but I'm not gonna fucking.
It's
It's not
funny.
gonna ruin my fucking
Like
week.
I tell people I use mine for security. I mean, like the reason I can play all my shit loud is when my son and wife are here because I know my dogs will go crazy if somebody gets in the house. And Hayman's like, they're not just Hayman's and Tito hate that shit. I'm like, yes, they are living fucking security systems.
Well,
They're
I
gonna
grew
let me-
up in the country.
They're gonna let me get to
They're
my safe.
fucking-
Though.
Animals were tools. I know, Ashtray, you think that way. You know,
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the thing.
you use
I love
dogs and
dogs,
cats as
but
fucking
I
tools.
can't have. I could have cats in the city, but owning a dog in the city just sounds absurd to me because
It's cruel.
yeah, like the dog
Listen to
can't go
the
out and
fucking
do what dogs
dog.
do, and then you got to make sure you get home to let them out to shit and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a fucking child.
I have
Yeah,
a,
it's like raising a child. Oh, I gotta go home and let my 4-year-old out. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Fucking change
Locked
your
up in the
stupid
kennel all
diaper.
day.
just put some potty pads down on the floor and let it just
On the
shit
floor, you got
everywhere.
Yeah, you got it.
I can't remember. There was some fucking. It was also what I wanted to do for my fuck what you think. But it was like a woman who literally left her child, for like 8 days to go on vacation.
Oh yeah, and
Oh
it died.
my
And
God,
she came
what
home and it
the
died.
Fuck.
And then the neighbors were
old
like,
is
we
it?
were telling her don't leave that child. Don't leave it. It's just like
Well, if you knew that she did, you should
yeah.
probably
Like apparently
check
she
up.
had like
Kicking-
left
be
the
kicking her
child for
fucking
long
door
periods
in.
prior, and no one called Child Protective Services on her.
Wow.
Oh,
Kicking
fuck
that
that.
fucking door down and grabbing that kid,
Right.
taking care of it until she got back,
Right.
and then I beat the shit
Yeah.
out of it.
Probably choked on its own shit.
That's fucked
Poor
up.
child.
How big?
Why
How
would
old
it
was it?
choke on its own
I think it was like a
shit?
toddler, like or younger, like still young.
Yeah, it's
Like,
fucked up.
That's
you could just
fucked
leave it
up.
in the crib for a couple of days, like it was a fucking guinea pig.
Wow.
That's fucked up. Moving on. Moving on.
Way to go, Ashtray.
Yeah,
Oracle
right? I
fucking
didn't
moving.
fucking kill that child.
Fucking moving, man.
Sunshine ashtray.
Sunshine
Yeah.
ashtray.
I'm sick of it.
Jesus.
Sick of fucking moving. Moving can suck my dick.
You're still moving?
Yeah, still moving.
It's just like
That
slow
shit takes a while.
We've been working on the house stuff, but now I'm getting to the point. It's like, you know what? Let's just get our shit over there. We got the internet hooked up today. It's like, okay, now it's a home. Now that we have fucking fiber over there, it's a fucking home. So we're moving in. Fuck this.
So are you in the home now, or are you?
No, I'm in the apartment. Yeah.
Okay.
But after this weekend, we're gonna be in there. And we've got a lot of stuff over there, but just kind of like the big things like couch, bed, shit like that. So.
Do you have somebody to help you move that stuff? Because could Carolyn help you with that, or is
Oh yeah, she's gonna help, man. We're gonna have the fucking couch. She's gonna be on the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
No,
But
my
that
dad's
baby's
gonna
gonna help.
Yeah, my dad's gonna come out. And,
Oh, okay.
and help.
I'm like, yeah, I can't see her. Like, oh my god, the couch is killing me. I just don't...
Yeah. Yeah. But it sucks. I'm over it. I'm ready to just live in the goddamn house and just do like house, like watch a TV show in the house or fucking eat a meal, not on a camp chair, maybe on a fucking table with a dining room chair.
Right.
That'd be nice. And this fucking, $175,000 house that I bought that I'm paying for. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
looking forward
just
to
think
it.
about this way. Once you're in, you're probably not going to be leaving for a while, so
Right.
you won't have to move
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, the mortgage, even with the escrow and everything, is it's actually a little bit less than what our rent was. So
That's crazy.
yeah, so it's fucking tits. And it'll be nice. And I got my pump working, and I was watering the lawn with my fucking.
So how's that intricate system the previous owner made? Does it work?
It does work, although I've had some pipes burst, but I cut a piece out and I put. You ever see one of those shark bite fucking plumbing things? So what you do is you can cut off like a copper pipe or a PVC or whatever, and then you get the right size, and then you can just put it on there. This
thing called a shark bite,
and it's got like a gasket inside of it, and it'll actually make a fucking awesome seal. So I was able to put a valve on there, and not a single fucking drip or anything. It's amazing.
So wait, the shark bite.
They have the same.
Does it just close it off? Is there a valve on it?
Well, this one had a valve. You can get all kinds of shit. So basically, instead of
lines, it's the same concept.
Yeah, instead of soldering,
flares out the brake line and and has a gasket that
It's not the same as that new with the fucking the plastic hosing that now all the plumbing's done with.
Well, you can use
that with the shark bites,
but basically it's just this technology that fucking seals onto it really good. You just got to like hack it off, make sure you get rid of all the deburr it, with some sandpaper, and then just put it on there, and bam, I had fucking 2 sprinklers
they got their
going
own
on
fucking logo and everything.
There you go.
Yeah, good
Gotta
shit.
go outside, Daisy.
Oh, Daisy wants to fucking go yell at some Jews.
She wants to go fucking.
She go yell at some Jews.
We're the Jews.
All right. Next up, we got Ashtray with Goddamn Canada.
Yeah, these fucking Canadian wildfires are. Man, I felt like I woke up yesterday, almost like, is it Sunday morning? And like I just fell asleep by the campfire, piss ass drunk.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I was feeling like fucking weary, coughing and hacking. And my eyes are goddamn itchy, even when I'm not stoned. And it sucks. And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna clear up Thursday." It's like, I think it was maybe fractionally better than it was yesterday. Yesterday was the worst.
Yesterday was bad.
Where I was like, I actually put my fucking like COVID mask on, and I'm like, even if it's just a placebo effect, it's just kind of like feels like, well, maybe I'm helping somewhat. But
they had a we got some really fucking cool. This one dude, his whole assignment yesterday was to go around with a mask on and get drone video of all this shit, all this fog.
Hmm.
And he got some really cool shit with the sun peeking through it and stuff, and like it's just orange fucking all over the city. It's fucking cool.
Awesome. Yeah, so fuck you, Canada. Like this literally it's been more than 2 months.
Yeah,
that
get
these
your
Canadian
shit under
wildfires
control.
Have been
Fucking Canada.
like fucking
Break
up
your
my Christmas.
fucking forests, assholes.
Fucking up my Christmas.
Awesome, cool. Next up is me with no more plastic at the roller rink. Oracle, can you pull that picture up that I put in
Those cucks.
those
They took the
those
plastic?
rollerblades that I put in the
How are you supposed to?
Where'd you put it?
I put it in the Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, bam.
So me and my son, we were rollers. Like I said, we were roller skating today. My son does not like using quads. He likes using rollerblades. He's actually pretty good on them. And he's got these little rollerblades that we got him. He loves them. They they have lights in the wheels so they light up. But you can't use those at the skate center anymore. The reason why they give you is because it's got this little plastic casing and stuff on it. Yeah, those right there. With the strap and everything else, the plastic casing. When people fall, they say it scuffs the floor. But it's a roller skating floor. So I mean, it gets scuffed all the time with the wheels and shit. We used to power slide and all kind of stuff on those floors.
Brakes, even the braking.
Brakes. I mean,
too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
with
the brakes probably might go there.
the brakes on the front skates. I mean, on the front of the quads can leave. You know, it's
Yeah, right.
It's a fucking floor. I mean, I know they have to get it done every few years, but they're not allowing people to have these anymore. They did give a free rental. If you bring them in, they do give you a free rental, but you can't use them. And so they were like, they only now allow those like hockey skate. The ones that got pretty much a hockey skate, but with rollerblade wheels on the bottom. Yeah, those things start at about $120. My son's gonna outgrow those in a few months.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, these ones right here, I think they're like $50, and you could expand them, and so, until he got bigger, and then we got him, you know.
Oh.
But I'm like, so now I gotta find some rollerblades that don't have this plastic stuff. Hopefully, I can find some knockoff roller skate ones, whatever. But yeah, it's yeah, he was real disappointed that he couldn't use his rollerblades.
But again, do you guys have like a Play It Again Sports or anything?
We do, yeah.
That's a good place. I go to that for my daughter for softball.
Oh, really? Okay.
I ain't buying fucking shit she's not gonna use after 2 years.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
It's all used.
Yeah, it's all used shit. I mean, it's still decent quality. You know, they don't fucking sell shit. It's not Goodwill.
Oh, it makes sense though. Like it's fucking like a video game, used video game store, you know? Shit's still good.
Well, I'll check it out. But he was just real disappointed that he couldn't use his rollerblades and shit. He was looking forward to rollerblading, and he couldn't. I was kind of pissed. But I mean, there's no signs or anything. It's just getting on my goddamn nerves. But
yeah, that's a dumb reason too. That just seems arbitrary with like so many other things that are rubber that can fucking.
After every session, they let kids get on the floor and do a foot race and stuff. I mean, the floor gets fucked up.
Right. I'm assuming they have to buff that motherfucker.
Right. I mean, why not just
probably weekly, not more.
As long as the wheels are right, why not let them fucking use what they want to use?
Do they have like a big Zamboni?
No, they have a giant.
That would be fantastic.
I worked there with them for a couple years, like 16 to 18. Yeah. They got a couple huge dust mops that we used to go around the floor with. I can't remember.
Do you have to wax it or anything, or?
We didn't wax or anything, and we didn't mop. They just swept it. They did get it buffed and everything else, but I was like 16, 17 when I worked there, so I don't remember how often they do it. But I do. It's just, I mean, the things we used to do to that floor. I mean, I don't understand why.
Things we used to do to that floor, man. After hours,
I mean, we built a half pipe
all over that,
like a half pipe and shit that went up the back wall. We did a bunch of stupid stuff back then. And for them to say we can't, it's retarded. Anyway, in all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Canada. That's our show. We're gonna be here every Thursday at 10 o'clock, and hopefully Ashtray will be on time like he was tonight. He was actually way ahead of time, almost like you were gonna talk shit about him.
Don't worry.
Make sure you join the conversation at theredarreport.com or facebook.com/thedarreport. Like us, share, some fuckers. We're down for whatever. I'm Teddy.
I'm Oracle.
This is the ashtray.
And I'm Mystic.
And this has been the Red Eye Report, motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah, Wobbles.
Fuck yeah, Waddles. You waddling some.
Waddles, yeah.
You waddling some
Waddles,
bitch.
not wobbles.
Wobbles is actually
Yeah,
Wobbles
wobbles
is the black
better.
penguin.
Wobbles.
Wobble, baby.